Today we're talking about the Ricoh R1, which has easily and quickly become my favorite automatic point-and-shoot film camera. So out of all of the cameras out there, why is this one my favorite point-and-shoot? Even with how much I love this camera, I'm still pretty reluctant to recommend that you pick one up. So what is it about this that I love? This camera is crazy slim and portable. In fact, it's almost hard to imagine a roll of film even fitting inside of the body of this camera. And this slim, incredibly travel-friendly camera is actually what drew me to purchasing it in the first place. I'm sure you've all heard this. The best camera is the one that you have with you. And knowing myself and how I like to shoot, if it's something more casual, it's there when I need it and invisible when I don't. I want something that isn't heavy and won't disrupt my everyday life every time I want to take a picture. Enter the Ricoh R1. The automatic exposure mode on this camera, which is on by default when you turn it on, is both reliable and also reliably uses the flash whenever it needs it. And another fun feature on this camera is the ability to shoot panoramic mode. And no, unfortunately, it's not a true panoramic mode. Rather, a mask will drop down to chop off pieces of the exposed image to give it that panoramic look. And by changing the setting once more, it will actually physically move the lens to turn it into a wider focal length, which is a pretty fun feature to have sometimes. Another huge highlight that I love about this camera is that when you load film into this camera, it will automatically unwind the entire roll. Then after you take a picture, it will rewind that exposure safely into the canister. And what this means is that if you were ever to accidentally open up this camera, all of your previous exposures would be completely safe. All cameras should function like this. Anyway, so now let's talk about your worst fear. First, let's take you back to November 2023. I had ordered my Ricoh R1 and I was so excited to get it. Unboxed it, opened it up, not a huge deal, but slightly annoying. The light seals weren't exactly great, and you don't need to be a film photographer to know that if something is both sticky and crumbles, that probably isn't a good sign. So we got rid of those light seals and replaced it with some craft foam and Mod Podge, and my $10 fix was a win. And that started my love for the Ricoh R1. Now fast forward, I'm prepping for a trip to New York and this happens. No. Everyone's worst fear, my Ricoh won't turn on. This is just a nice looking paperweight now. The camera technically does turn on, but the lens does not protrude from the camera and none of the features work anymore. The unfortunate reality with film cameras is that not many of them were built to last, especially if they have electronic components that are required for the camera to function. And when it comes to film cameras, you can either get a fully mechanical camera, which is generally what I like to purchase, especially after this experience, or a camera that has electronic components that are required for it to function properly. So the unfortunate reality, like I mentioned, is that these break. And with discontinued cameras, you can't reliably get support or fixes for a lot of them. Or in the event that you do want to get something fixed, in a lot of cases, it will probably cost more than the camera was in the first place. So not even 3 months later, this broke. Once it's dead, it's dead. So with my Ricoh hopes and dreams crushed, I did the next logical thing that anyone would do. I bought another one. So why did I buy another one? Like I mentioned, this still is my favorite camera, and I just think I was unlucky, and the stars misaligned perfectly for this one to break. And one of those reasons why it was so easy to buy another one is because they're so affordable at $100. But I have to tell you, there is a reason why they're so cheap. It's famously known for not having a top LCD that works. The LCD just happened to be the weakest link on the R1. So with this LCD screen not working, you lose the ability to see which shooting modes you're in, the battery life of the camera, and the film counter. Of course, there are some out there with working LCDs, but they cost twice as much. It's only a matter of time before those stop working too. Okay, so now that you're caught up to speed, why did I still buy a second one? There are plenty of electronic film cameras out there, but none quite as slim or with the same image quality as this camera. For me, the image quality is plenty sharp, and I can compromise on some of the inconveniences, like not knowing which picture I'm on, and to work my way around that, if I'm really enjoying what I'm shooting there, I'll just carry another roll of film with me. So let me walk you through my justification here. With the price of a Ricoh R1, I could still buy 3 Ricohs for the price of a Yashica T4, or I could buy 10 Ricohs for the price of a Contax T2. So yeah, that's my justification. I already know that film cameras are going to die. All of them have expiration dates, and all of them will eventually not work anymore, and the ability to repair them diminishes because that's just the nature of discontinued products. So knowing that gamble, knowing that risk, I would still want to stretch out my dollar as far as I can with something that I would still enjoy using. So I figured I'd have way more chances with being unlucky with the Ricoh than I would if I had purchased a more expensive film camera like the Yashica T4 or the Contax T2. So you can hear my reasoning on why I'm hesitant to recommend this for you, even though I love it so much. Again, for me, my Achilles heel in still wanting to purchase these probably forever. This camera is just so darn portable, and for me, I want a camera that's always there when I need it and completely disappears when I don't. And because of how slim and light it is, this just ticks all of my boxes. Even though I can't tell which picture I'm on, and even when it inevitably misses focus, it's still one of my favorite cameras to have around with me. Because again, the best camera is the one that you have with you. So tell me, for those of you who have Ricoh R1s out there, can you tell me how long you've had yours and how long it's been working? And yeah, if you do ever pick up one of these cameras, I wish you all the best luck in the world. I'll leave you with some of my favorite images that I've taken on this camera. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please like it. It actually makes a huge difference. Do not forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.